GM. What's going on?
GM Wonky Stonks family. How's everyone doing today?
Oh, man, alive and well. Dude, I stayed up way too late last night. I don't know if anybody was up listening to that. And I actually saw Wonka in the space with Baroque, where dude, it like was this musical. Basically, everybody blaming everything in life on Farouk. It was amazing. All right, if you want to be a speaker, feel free to go ahead and request. If you're in this crowd, dude, it's always a small, chill space. So if you are here, you should jump up on stage. It's that simple. Dude, that's where my freaking head. I was looking for my earbuds, and I took them upstairs whenever I was on that space last night way too late. So they're probably going to be dead anyway. What's going on, T?
Yeah, speaking of which, evidently I lost my right one somewhere, so I'm using my left AirPod if I sound any different.
That's awful, man. I hate that. And no, I mean, I
Is it just me he's working for, or is that everybody?
Nah, yeah, I think he definitely just got rugged.
All right, Kaleo's on the leaderboard, but that's just because Cube isn't up here yet. Got Wonka coming up as well. How are you, T? How are you, LST?
Morning, afternoon. I'm alright. How are you guys?
Doing
I'm
good,
doing
doing good.
wonderful.
Wonka, any updates on the squirrel?
I was just about to ask you if you hit the gym today.
No, I did not. Wonky spaces became priority.
I'm at the gym right now, so you can't say that.
True. I'm just looking for excuses. I'm seeing a request, but I can't find it. I don't know if Kaleo's account got tripped out and he's trying to request back up.
Wonka, at your gym, are you wearing your Wonky Stonks swag? Because otherwise, what's the point?
During winter, I did because I had the hoodie on all the time, and now I'm currently waiting for my package. So another 2 weeks, and it's gonna be a Wonky
They sell
thing here.
T-shirts as well.
Yeah.
They sell T-shirts as well. So yeah.
I ordered like 4 of them or 3 of them. So from next week on, it's a Wonky gym.
Kaleo, I cannot bring you back up on stage. It will not allow. Your request is not popping up. It's saying you are a co-host at this moment. There we go. Yeah. Probably have to leave, hop back on. Okay. Invite to speak.
bro, I've never been rugged like that.
Ah, there we go.
Could y'all hear me any of that time?
No, as soon as you said you lost your AirPods, you cubed.
Bro, what in the world? There's been some funky stuff going on with spaces recently where, I know last night, the craziest thing, and by the way, can y'all make an emoji if you can hear us in the crowd? Like, throw up any emoji if you can hear us in the crowd. Anybody. Okay, we've got Douglas throwing it, we've got emojis going up in the air. I feel better. Last night, dude, the craziest thing happened with that space that Baroque was hosting. They'd hosted it for hours, and I mean 2+ hours straight, where they had some musicians that were up on stage, and the musicians were sitting there and playing some great music, and everybody was just freestyle singing just all the world's problems on Baroque. And they found out 2 hours into it that like nobody could hear anything in the audience. So they were just doing it for the people on stage. And, you know, I was up there as well, and we were sitting there doing all this bullshit. It was kind of fire, to be honest, but nobody could hear anything. So then we shut down his space, and I kicked up a space because I was like, well, maybe they'll be able to hear it if I host it. So I hosted it, and then we did it for like another 20 minutes, and nobody could hear it. So it wasn't until Blau came up on stage that we decided to end mine. We went to Blau's, and finally we found somebody that it actually worked with. But on that note, I know that like Pio and the like the Nifty Morning Alpha show, they had the same issue where they had to host it on Discord this morning because like Spaces completely shit out on them.
Yeah, Spaces has never run too smoothly. There's still a huge time delay of probably like 20, 30 seconds between what the listeners hear and what the speakers are talking about.
It makes sense based on the delay in the emojis. I was kind of scared there for a second, to be honest. But we're good. We're good. Everybody's here. It's another great day. I'm glad that you guys are able to make it and able to hear us for another episode of the Wonky Weekly Alpha, episode 25. Dude, next week is officially half a year, which is the crazy thing. If you think about it, like it's coming up on half a year of these spaces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
No, I mean, like, obviously it's been more than half a year. I think that we're almost at 10 months, you know, in another week we'll be at 10 months, which is insane as far as the Wonky Stonks are concerned. But nearly half a year of doing these spaces, at least, you know, the regularly scheduled weekly alpha, whatever that we've done. Obviously we did some after the initial launch, but like, you know, this has been the regular show that we've hosted each and every week for nearly half a year, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's probably a little over 2 days in spaces, average like hour 45 minutes per space. Where it's getting pretty close to 2 days of straight spaces.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, like it's just one of those casual things to be able to do on a Friday and to be able to just, you know, enjoy. Like honestly, it's just being able to hang out, right? Like, and you know, be able to do it in a public space. Dude, I see B-Ways up there. I saw B-Ways last night partying with the Izu PA crew. Looked sick. If you get a chance, would love to hear about it. I completely understand if you're dead though after that, because I probably would be too. So Wonka, what's going on, man? Like, how has it been being back in the real world and off vacation?
Not good, not good. No, it's all good. But yeah, I would prefer to be on vacation right now again. But yeah.
I feel that. So I forget, man. Like I remember last year you had an internship going on this last summer. What ended up happening with that?
It's still going on. I mean, I started the week we minted actually, so I'm done in a month and a half. So and I did get a permanent offer, so it's going good. Yeah.
My man, I love to hear it. So you're doing that while you're still taking classes and stuff then?
No, I haven't been studying this year, but I'm going back in September for a master. So yeah.
Shoot, dude. So we're gonna lose you again to the school life, like here in just another month.
Yeah, probably, but we'll see.
Well, actually, let's be real. Like, if you're going back to school here in a month, you're gonna have more time than ever.
Exactly, that's the plan. The plan is to flip NFTs while studying. So studying is going to be part-time.
The real master is in flipping NFTs.
Exactly.
Bro, I saw a pickup that you got in your PFP. It's sick, man. Like, I saw that. Like, there were quite a few of those, you know, ribbons that dropped near the floor recently that were really solid pickups. I know Rooster also got one this last week. It was just an insane, like, and I think Rooster, it was on the floor for 7 minutes before you ended up grabbing it?
Oh no, not even. So I think it was LFP. He was like, ribbon just dropped on the floor, or someone said it in the Discord, and I was upstairs on the couch, so I was a little slow to react to get downstairs to my computer, and I was actually going to buy that one. I was like, yeah, I need a third ribbon for a ribbon cube, and when I got to my computer, I clicked refresh, and then this one had popped up. I think it was only up for like 30 seconds, or at least from my point of view. And so I was like, no way. So yeah, I instantly bagged that baby.
Yeah, bro. It was an awesome pickup, dude. There have been a lot of solid pickups this week that we've seen across the. Dude, it's so weird. Wait, I'm sorry. I got to pause for a second. It's so weird seeing 80s pop up and not seeing 80s baby as the name on the handle. I love it, man. The full docs from the legend himself. But I mean, like, there was a full docs. If you have the book, like, the full docs was already there. But I mean, full docs is the online profile. It's no longer 80s. Like, do we call you Matt or do we call you 80s?
Oh, you guys can still rock with the 80s if you like, but I'm just embracing my name. I'm embracing who I am, brother. Like, wholeheartedly, like, more confidence I've ever felt in my life. Like, I've found my true self, and I'm just.
We're going with Matt.
Yeah, go with Matt.
Matt is what
I mean, my friends back home, they call me Matty. I mean, you guys can call me Matt, Matty, whatever. I mean, I feel comfortable enough to do this. I know it's a big stigma in the NFT world, like, anonymous profiles, and we flex our PFPs and all this, but just have this overwhelming sense of self-love right now that I just want to embrace that, and I want to share it with all of you guys too.
Bro, I love this. I love the new and refreshed. Like, man, it is good to have you back up here, man. It is. I have missed hearing your voice up on stage. Like, there's been just this, like, a void that can't be replaced. That, I think, is the best way of saying it in your absence. So fun to have you back, man.
And vice versa too. Like, being up here and hearing your voice, and I've talked to a couple of guys already privately, and just that void was missing in my life as well too. So, like, back and forth energy was still there. Like, in Peru, you guys were with me at all times. Like, in the present moment, you guys were in my thoughts. I was saying prayers for you guys. I was wishing you guys many blessings, trying to share that energy as well, transcend it across the globe for you guys. And there were times where, I would check on Twitter. Reception was horrible in Peru. So I wasn't really able to do a lot of communication, which was good because I needed that break from everything, like all communication. But there were times where I'd see you guys posting, and it just warmed my heart. And coming back, I actually listened to a couple of the recorded spaces. And from the bottom of my heart, like, the love that you guys even showed while I wasn't even there for me, like, got me emotional, man. Like, coming back, just knowing that love is there, that love that we share is there, always will be. No matter if I'm across the world or not, we're still here sharing that energy, those vibes, that passion, that conviction. I love it, man.
Bro, that fires me up. It really does. And, for those of you who don't know, if you're rather newer to the space and you haven't met 80s/Matty before, he is, I'll say, the OG staple to this community that ties us all together. That, really, if you're talking about the heart or the engine that drives the Stonks, like, it is him. 110%. Like, I'm there, I'm whatever, but, like, he is the heart of this thing. So, like, it feels great to have you back, man. Like, I want to hear more about, like, if you don't mind sharing it, because, I think it all goes together. I'm sure you can drop some alpha for everybody that's listening in here, sharing a little bit more about what the last month and a half has been like away in Peru, and, that break and coming back into the real world after it.
I appreciate the beautiful words, brother. And I'm just a part of a big ecosystem of vibes. And when we all stick together and pull through this space together and just continue showing up, that just strengthens the community. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I've always just been here, is for everybody else. Those vibes that we all have that are inside of us, that we just needed a place to share them. And being here since the beginning of Wonky Stonks has been a life-changing experience, just like Peru was. And I think just like a lot of experiences in our lives that are really unexpected, but have such a dramatic impact on the trajectory of our life. And Wonky Stonks has always been that. And the people that I've met here, life connections, like there's no going back. There's no other old reality of that. Like, this is the new reality that I'm experiencing with this community, with these people, even outside of the community, building things, innovating things, sharing that compassion with each other. So I just want to say thank you, Kaleo. Like, I mean, for building what you did. And I always compliment you on that, because you did build something unique, and it was written in history that this would be such an amazing project. And coming back and seeing the floor absolutely ripped through the freaking ceiling was like, I was trying to pinch myself and try to figure out, am I still tripping in Peru? Am I really still here right now? Like, what the hell's going on? But it was beautiful to see, and then to also see you too getting more involved in the NFT space. And I remember having this conversation with you at lunch way back in January. I was like, brother, this is the area you need to really focus on. And to see you coming more into light of that, embracing that more so than I've ever seen, like, that is such a huge impact on this space, because you're such a pivotal person in this space. And you're such a good-hearted person that this space needs more of. So seeing that is amazing. Seeing the penguins come into the community as well has been mind-blowing. So again, I'm trying to figure out if this new reality is really the reality I'm supposed to be in. But
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, like, there has been just a slow positive and momentum that's been building with the stonks recently, and it's been fun, man. Like, one of my things, you're talking about me getting more involved in the NFT space, and I've always wanted to, right? It's just one of those things where during the peak of the FOMO, I never felt like it was the right opportunity to go balls deep into different projects that I really respected, because I just had this gut feeling that I was going to end up buying the top in something. So I wanted to wait until, honestly, the NFT space was more boring to be able to start slowly trickling my way into it a little bit more. Right. But, there are two things with that. One, like, I do believe in the space, and I do believe where it's going. But for people to really believe that you believe, I think that they need to see that, on the actual, put your money where your mouth is. And something that, like, have I freaking aped some massive stake in anything yet? No, but, like, I've dipped my toes in the water, and it's been fun. It really has been, as far as, and, like, I'm not trying to do one of those things where I'm investing in a million different communities. I bought a couple PAs, went pretty balls deep with the penguins and the, let's see what else, then the dick butts. And, like, I'm kind of just
the
keeping it
dick butts
pretty,
had me rolling, man.
bro. I love the dick butts.
The simulation is real, bro.
Yeah. And then the stocks, right? Like, so, keeping, I think, a not shallow, but like a deep approach, deep and, narrow, to where you're not spreading yourself too thin, I think is incredibly important, especially whenever you're getting started off, right? Like, there's only so much that you can devote to so many different communities. And while there are other opportunities that I see out there right now, right? Like, it doesn't mean that I think that you need to sit there and aim into everything. So it's high conviction, concentrated bets is the way to start off. And I think from there, if you're able to steamroll that, and there is traction with those, and there's success behind that, there's more belief that is then instilled in you, not just as an investor, but as a creator and as a founder. And I think that rolls back into the stocks long term as well.
That's beautiful to hear that, man. Coming back into the NFT world, I'm taking my time. I'm being very slow coming back in because I think I messaged you the other day. I was like, I got to tiptoe back in. Like, I can't go from 100 miles an hour to peace and tranquility to 100 miles an hour again. So, like, coming back in it and seeing it kind of in that bear market in a sense, but actually kind of being in a mini bull run right now, the dynamic is definitely interesting to see the different communities out there that are starting to come together a little bit more. And that's something that I've been saying since the beginning of NFTs. Like, when we start bridging all of that, when we start combining that, we're not overwhelming ourselves with different investments and different stuff like that. What we're doing is we're building a better future. We're mixing this technology with ideas, with new founders, with new creators, and we're molding it into something that is growing into something so much more better than a decisive project. Oh, I only have all my money in this one project and I only promote this one project over here. I mean, yeah, that's fine and all, but there's so many other opportunities out there. So to see that happening in my first week back, even more so than I've ever seen before, is really, really a blessing. So yeah, man, I'm bullish on the whole thing, and coming back in here with you guys, I'm bullish with this community, this family. This family has been one of the strongest in the background, I think, for the better part of the year. And we're coming up on a year too. And to see us still thriving like we are right now, with that consistency, with that conviction, and that strength of the community, I'm here for it, brother. And it feels great to come back to this. But yeah, man, Peru was mind blowing. I'm not even
I
gonna
believe
lie.
it, man. Like, how many days were you not tripping on something?
It's funny because and I'm gonna be very open, more open than I've ever been, and I hope you're okay with that. Like, I kind of feel like the medicine is still working a little bit on the back end, and I was told that the medicine probably will continue to work a little bit for the next year, but still trying to slowly get back into society, coming back into the space, coming back in just to this environment, that I was used to. It's a lot different. And I think that attributes to the amount of trips that I actually went on. So I was at the retreat for almost 2 weeks, and I tripped like 6 times on the plant medicine ayahuasca, and then I also did a Bufo alvarius, or a desert frog, which is a 5-MeO DMT trip, and that was mind blowing. But yeah, man, I did the 6, I did the Bufo, but I also did this thing called San Pedro, which is almost like peyote, and you go out and you actually go out in nature and do that one. The other ceremonies were very ceremonial, if you will, with shamans and whatnot, very dark lit settings, but they were just life changing, life altering. It's hard work. It's not like for the faint of heart. Like, if you go with the mentality of like doing drugs, you're not gonna have a good time. Like, I didn't go with that mentality. I went with the mentality of healing my mind, my body, my soul, and being a catalyst for change in humanity. That was my motivation. That was my intention. And I think it's important to go into these experiences in life with intentions, or just any present moment activity that you're doing. Just always has that good, pure intentions. And it just proved absolutely beautiful. Like, I tweeted something earlier, and the best way I can describe like that experience, the actual like ceremonial experience, it was a cosmic circus of love, bliss, joy, and wonder, because it really takes you in and fills you with unconditional love, to see that there's so much more to this life than we have ever known, and more so than I ever knew too. Like, it blew my expectations out of the water to reach certain points of my life where I thought I was, had overcome things. I didn't overcome shit until I went to Peru. Like, it was front and center. Like, and I confronted all of my past, confronted all of my pain, my suffering. I asked for forgiveness. I felt forgiveness. And I thanked all of the bad and the ugly in my life, because I thanked it for bringing me to this beautiful present moment right now that I have to share with other people and to experience, to embody, to really transcend into that person that you ultimately want to be, and that is free. And I feel free. I feel confident. I feel comfortable. And for the first time in my life, I actually feel like I am somebody that can be a change. I always instill positive reinforcement in other people, and I always try to help people reach their true potential. But deep down inside, I never really understood my true potential, and I understand it now, and I feel it now, and I embrace it now, and I welcome it so much. And that's another reason for the docs and the PFP, and it's just I love myself, and I think I wrote about this too in my book. Like, once you love yourself wholeheartedly, then you can truly love unconditionally to others, and I feel that more than ever in my life.
Bro, that is inspirational, man. It really, really is. It's something that pushes me a little bit more to, like I keep talking about how I want to docs again and go back and, run through all of that. There just something is inside of me that's held me back. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's complacency, if it's fear, you know, what exactly it is, but hearing you and coming back with that confidence and that refreshed state of mind, I mean, it is pretty inspirational as far as challenging me to look deeper into A, why have I not, and then B, is it something that needs to happen?
Yeah, and again, that's a personal choice that everybody makes. For me, from my choice, it was just me embracing who I am, and it's not for anything else other than that. Like, I finally feel confident and comfortable in who I am and what I am, and I think the space has a way to take what you inherently are and force you to try to be something that you may not want to be. And I've seen that a lot, where a lot of people don't feel comfortable or confident in who they are as a person. They want to be A, B, and C. They want to be Tom, Joe, or Al over there. You know what I mean? They want to be somebody else because they're not comfortable with who they are. And I think it's because a lot of people don't really truly know who they are. And in order to know who you are, you have to do the hard work. That shit is not easy. It is not easy to go through the ringer and to put yourself through hell to find out that you can finally surrender to your true self. And once you finally surrender to your true self, then you know who you are without a doubt, without a shed of doubt.
So, Rooster, what are you going to do with this? What's your action step from all of this? I'm fired up.
I'm going to Peru.
All right, we're scheduling a wonky retreat to Peru
Dude,
when we hit a 10 ETH floor.
brother, like, while I was there, I met a couple of the other guys that were there. One was an astrophysicist, and one worked for the government, and one was a psychologist. Those are my partners that I was with there. Like, I never met them in my life. We created bonds just being at this retreat together. Obviously, you do that when you spend a lot of time with people. But I was outside. We were sitting around this tree, and I was like, man, you know what? I want all of my people here with me. And it made me think, it's like, why couldn't I just buy a piece of property down there and like have that as the center of like where you guys want to come and escape to? Like, come to Peru, enjoy the environment, enjoy the culture, enjoy the medicine, enjoy whatever you want, because it's so different down there. I know a lot of different countries, but Peru, there's something magical about it down there. I don't know what it is. It must be the good Amazonian fruit. I don't know what it is, or the damn good medicine. I don't know, but it's mind blowing, and I want every single person to experience that feeling, and also understand, like, here, I don't know, a lot of people are probably from all over the world, but specifically here in the West and the United States, we take so much shit for granted, man. Like, we worry about the stupidest shit in the world, like that, and we let it control us. We let it take over our entire day instead of being present and instead of being grateful for what we have. Like, those are also the lessons that I learned being outside of the retreat. Like there was so much more to this trip than just the trip that I did. It was beautiful, man.
Oh, that's amazing, man. So, okay, I do want to hear. So, before you left, from where we are right now, before you left, I think the stonk floor from the beginning of June to now, even right now, like there are a few pieces. I think there are like three beneath 0.1 ETH, something pretty shallow right there, right? But like, say that it's 0.09, it's still tripled in the last month and a half, 2 months as
Let's
far as where
go.
we were to there. So it's just a slow, steady grind up, and there are going to be impulses like what we had recently. But I think it's just a clear reflection of value and strength in the community that's starting to reflect itself as far as that demand, and in a market where everything else seems to slowly be creeping the other direction, like the stocks have slowly been gaining strength.
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of buying a stonk right now, another one. But gas is destroying my shingles that I have. So I'm sitting here watching gas so I can complete my transaction.
I don't
And
know
it's
if you
going
guys
up.
saw, but when I was in Peru, I actually happened to get some reception, and I just for the hell of it, I hadn't looked at it at all, but I just went on the MetaMask and I wanted to see where the Wonky Stonks were, and I saw a 9 trade sitting there, and ended up sniping that for the vibes. For you guys.
Saw that, man. I saw.
I was messing around with Kaleo the other day. I told him, I was like, should I just go back to Peru for another month and we'll hit 1 ETH the day I come back, or what? What are we doing here?
Holy crap, man! I just checked the Pudgy page too. Somebody just swept 20 Pudgies. Like one person just like spent, I guess 50, 60 ETH on it. We just need to get that person in the stock space and mirror the same thing.
Man, it feels good to be back and hearing you guys, and it just I have a lot of love in my heart right now, and like I said, I'm so grateful and blessed to be a part of this community. The people that I've met outside of this community, just it's really a blessing, and very grateful for it. Just love you guys, man.
Hey, same goes for you, man. Same goes for you. So how was it reuniting with the wife after a while?
Woo boy, that was that was fun, man. Let me tell you what.
that was.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that was the real question. That may have been a trigger step too far thinking about it.
It's wild because night 2, ceremony number 2, I actually had I titled it in my journal. Oh, by the way, I'm going to write an entire new book. But I titled this in my journal Beautiful Chaos, because everybody was like going through their own shit that night. And the guy next to me ended up throwing up all over himself, and like he needed a little help, and one of the facilitators is having helping him. So I like kind of casually get out of my trip, or at least I was still tripping a little bit, and I helped him. I picked him up and I put him down in this bed and I rubbed his head, and I told him everything is going to be good. Next thing you know, I go back into my bed. I'm tripping my face off at this point, and I start having this overwhelming feeling of my arms like they had weight in them. And I look down and I'm sitting there like I'm rocking an imaginary baby. And it was a sign that, and I've talked to you about this, Kaleo, and I've talked to some of the other guys about this. I'm going to be a father. And like this showed me like I'm going to be a good father, and I need to be a father, and I need to be okay with just being a father in life. Like I think that is one of the most noblest things a man can do, or a human being can do, is to create life. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with my wife. I am wholeheartedly 1,010% going, and I want to be a father right now, man. That is my thing.
1,010%.
Yeah, bro.
Whew, man.
Rooster, how do you feel about a 1,010% effort on anything right now? Like, does 110 need to change their name?
I don't know, 1,010%. That's quite a lot of effort, but I'm here behind
Room
you,
1010.
80s. Right. 80s, you're gonna be a great father. And to celebrate that, I just completed my stonk purchase. And it was another 9 tray off the floor.
Let's
So
Woo, let's go.
go.
How many
let
9
me
traits? I got 5. What you
I've
got? What you got?
that is my 4th 9 trait now.
Woo, catching up.
Yes, sir.
Bro, by the way, if you did not see the pin tweet at the top, I am doing another giveaway. I always give away a stonk during these spaces, so feel free to go ahead. And it's the second or the first pin tweet. Yeah, just look through it. It's the one, from me. And give that a retweet, and you will have a chance to be a winner of that stonk. You know what? And we'll figure out a fun way to do it. But either way, you have to retweet it and be actively listening to be eligible to win.
So what's been going on with you guys? Tell me something other than Wonky Stonks and Penguins. What else has been going on? I want to hear some good vibes from you guys.
I took a bath.
Oh man,
I took a bath and beyond.
You stinky bastard.
Hey, Matty, have you met Johnny before? Has he been in a space?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if y'all crossed paths before or after your journey.
Yeah, he was popping in and out for a few months before I left. So yeah, I definitely recognize Johnny Solano, man. What's up, brother?
Are you what's up, man? Are you an entrepreneur? I just noticed the hand formation in your profile pic.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur, brother. A little bit, yeah.
Bro, that is the Kevin building hands, isn't it?
It's a meditative technique that I do, and but yeah, it is kind of the thing a little bit. But no, it's not. Yeah, being up there, I ended up changing my my profile pic, Johnny. I wanted to embrace myself a little bit more and show people that it's okay to embrace yourself. I know everybody's worried about getting hacked or whatever, but let's be real. A hacker can find out anything they want, whether PFP or not. So,
Well, you got to be strong-minded and strong-willed, and honestly, that firewall cannot break as long as you're well-grounded. That's why I recommend if you wear shoes all day a lot, take off your shoes and get your feet on the ground, get well rested, let those electrons kind of pour out get
no, that's 1,010% correct. I just spent a month or 5 weeks in Peru, kind of connecting to the earth, and I do that shit every day, and I try to encourage others too. And get outside, go barefoot, touch some grass, like literally embody touching grass, like physically touch it with your feet. Don't just take a picture of it at a park. Like, go touch that shit.
Bro, you know how just quickly, I'm sorry, I know you said no stonks right now, Maddie, but
No, talk about
how
stocks, man. I don't give a shit.
you know how I know the stonks are back, hosting the space and then seeing some stonk purchases during the space. It reminds me of the good old days back in the beginning of the stonks. Shows a little bit more of the lifeblood. It's fun.
I love it, man. I was looking at getting a ribbon, and somebody sniped it. There was a beautiful green ribbon on the floor. It was like 2 days ago. Bullish one too. Sniped quick.
But bro, you know the best thing right now about as the price of the floor is continuing to increase, it's reaching certain levels where there are people that minted that had never listed before. And there's some of these beautiful, beautiful stonks that I've never seen that have been dropped on the floor recently that have just been snatched up. It's been really, really cool to watch because, a lot of the time whenever a stonk is put in circulation, you're I see the majority of them that come through, right? And I'm realizing how many are out there that have just been basically kept in cold storage that I've never seen before that, again, as they're reaching certain prices where people are like, okay, yeah, that's something from a free mint, if they want liquidity, again, like going back to it, a lot of people, if you check their wallets, it's the only thing that they have that's liquid. So, so it's cool though, seeing a lot of that new art pop up.
Yeah, it's mentors waiting for that exit liquidity, but it's good for us because I want to see some new stonks. And you're right, like I've gone through this collection 30 times, and Rooster's been there half the time with me. And seeing a couple of new stonks too this week have been like, I love to see that shit, man, because we'll scoop them up at the cheap price right now. Go ahead, keep dropping them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just got a rank 160 for 0.1.
Yeah,
Give
see
me
that's free. That's literally free. That's
Give me that all day. People sleep on the 9
How many
trades.
team members do you have on the Wonky Stonk team?
We got 2 official team members, and it's me and Hondo. And outside of that, it's just my. But you know what? That's why we're going to survive, Johnny, is because we don't give a shit about revenue or any of that type of stuff right now. It's just we're just in it for the vibes, and that's how you survive, right?
What's the role of the Honda Civic guy?
The Honda Civic guy, Hondo.
I'm sorry. It came to my mind. I had to say it. I'm so sorry.
Bro, if anybody knows Hondo, right? You have to know Hondo from the Discord. Hondo is one of those guys that will step up and do basically everything. I mean, he was the original. He wrote the code for the contract. He did the actual art as far as the generative art behind the stonks themselves, right? Like I gave some input, but he was the one that coded the art. He is the utility man behind the scenes. That's, the community drop helped write the contract logic for it. Dude's just, a genius and a really, really, really good human being. That's a good friend of mine that has hopped on with it.
That's badass.
Hondo's a legend, man. He is very kind-hearted. I mean, he's willing to do, like Cleo said, anything that the community needs. He's always there to support us. There's a problem happening, he addresses it immediately. Like, he is the guy behind the scenes keeping the wheels moving. Like, he's oiling the machine constantly. He's the man, dude.
Yeah, so that's it. No other shadow figures in the background. Just that. So,
but it brings up like a really good point though too. Is like community. Like it can be 2 guys like running the project, but to get it to where it's been, like those 2 guys needed a community behind them to support them, to share the vibes, to reach that conviction to new heights. Like, and the people that show up every day too. Like, thank you for everybody that has been here.
Well, bro, because I'll say from my perspective, right? Like, one of the things that I had to come to grips with at the very beginning of this is, I think I just reached this threshold. I talked to you about it at the very beginning of the year / end of the year, where, the market flipped the other direction, where, the stonks weren't at the price that I wanted. Like, it's difficult to maintain the momentum behind like multiple different scenes. And I was just kind of at this crossroads where like, I didn't know what I wanted to do with where I was in anything, really. I just kind of lost myself for a month. And, during the course of that, the community fully drove everything, right? Like, and, but like, I'm really thankful for that period and for that time, because again, like, I think one of the pressures and weights that I felt as a founder is, right, like, you're doing something, and especially from a free mint, you go into it without much expectations, and like you feel the weight where you want to be able to see that value reflected for the people that believe in your project and believe in the community with you, and to drive that momentum forward. And sometimes, you realize that no matter what you do, if the market conditions aren't right, like you're going to continue to spin your wheels. And that's kind of where I felt. And I didn't really know how to grasp that feeling of, not succeeding immediately. And but it's been one of those things where now, like once you accept where you are and you realize, regardless of whatever the price looks like on anything, that you're there and you're going to build, and you're going to continue to show up, and you're going to continue to put effort toward it. Like the price where it is right now doesn't matter, because like I believe that the reflection of that value, happens over time. That it's something that, if you build a community that's worthwhile, that people eventually, like, the meme becomes the reality. And, so I'm thankful for that. But all going back to what Maddie said, it's like none of this is possible without guys like him, guys like Rooster, guys like the meme god himself, Wonka, guys like the mashup legend Yakimet and the Cube and B-Ways and LST and, T and a bunch of these other guys that, like, I could go down the list that make it possible, to really continue to be where we are right now. And that's why I believe it'll be more successful, because it is in the hands of the community.
And to see that community grow even more so in the past couple months, and getting a lot of new members in, bridging different communities within our community, that again just continues to strengthen the ecosystem. And it kind of gives like the other community members that have been, grinding day in and day out as well, like gives them more of a, I don't want to say a breather in a sense, because this is not supposed to be work. We're supposed to be doing this because we vibe with it. But it opens up so much more connections for people to take other roles, to spread this love more and transcend it into other communities and transcend it into other people, onboard new people into the NFT world with this project. So it really, it's quite interesting to see, like, from a study perspective too, from like where we were in the beginning to where we are now. And it just continues to grow. Those bricks are continuing to be laid on top of this foundation that was already built by the core community. So continuing that with other people is just paramount in our growth. And I love to see it, man. Coming back to it has just been an absolute blessing.
So, Johnny, catch us up on what's going on in the world of Solana these days, because, I feel like my bubble that I'm in doesn't really catch up on all the news on the Solana side of things. So I'm just curious, what's the word on the street these days? What's going on?
Okay, real briefly, I suppose there's a project called DGods, and they're coming out with a new collection called Utes. So people are really psyched about that. And then I suppose there's following like the earlier Ethereum days, maybe. How like you guys had the PFPs, and then it like, what are those? There's a Fidenza or something, but ultimately like fine art that's become really valuable. So right now, what's really actually popping is the fine art and the one-on-one pieces. I mean, lately it's been the editions, and actually a lot of that has been there's been some prominent one-for-one artists that have really curated the scene for all the other new artists coming in, such as John Lay. As of recently, a guy I've actually met John Lay too, but another guy named DJ Poet, who used to just do like poetry, just like a couple words. His artworks have really gone like crazy. Like he caught on a wave. He's making pretty big waves right now. And there's other artists like maybe Sir Wayne Newton, one of the OG artists, Pinug 420. These guys have been really killing it. So like there's like a big kind of wave going into the one-on-one art scene kind of as of right now on Solana.
That's sick. That does remind me of the early Ethereum days a little bit more, because now that I'm thinking about it, like Solana doesn't, I don't typically identify it with one-of-one artists as much. When I think of one-of-one, I think of, super rare and stuff like that, you get some of these one-of-one artists that become super prominent on it. I'd be interested, like, have you heard anything of any of those bigger platforms like Super Rare that have taken any type of interest in Solana?
I'm not. Well, I see that
or what
OpenSea
is like
is kind of
Super Rare
scrambling. Yeah. So we have two of the most dominant ones on Solana that of the one for one art where you can check out. It's one's called exchange.art, and then the other one is called form function. And so these are the two top ones. So like I think you guys have like probably on the two platforms on Ethereum or something. Or I'm sure there's tons, but like two of the more dominant ones. And so these are the ones on Solana. It's called Form Function and Exchange.art. So these are the platforms you go and shop around and check out what's happening.
Nice, man.
Man,
Good to know.
I wish they sponsored me for this.
Hey, bro. I mean, I think it's important though for everybody, not just on stage, but everybody else that's in the audience to get a little bit more culture of what's happening in the world outside of just your bubble, right? Like, because one of these days, one of those things could start to creep up, and as it gains traction, you're like, oh yeah, like Johnny told me about that, and maybe you can get in on whatever that momentum and that wave is a little bit earlier because you heard about it in something like this rather than just being closed minded to everything else but what you're currently focused on. So, no, I like it, man. Crimdom, what is going on, man? I feel like I have not
Yo,
caught up with you in a minute.
just to reply to
Well,
that,
yeah,
absolutely.
go to it, Johnny.
That's I mean, that's the most beautiful thing. Ultimately, I think that we share as like human beings. You know what I mean? To be able to like share some knowledge with one another, like without really having like, I'm just sharing this, and it's not like I'm like looking for some returns in exchange or something. But because it's kind of like I don't know, like maybe like an older individual, like I mean, through the traditions of mankind, it's like an elder sharing some piece of knowledge with like a younger person, I mean, that's as beautiful as it really gets, in my opinion. But yeah, that's all I'd say for now.
Hey, Johnny, real quick before Criminal gets on, you just like made me think of something that I've been thinking a lot about in Peru, and it's we have a dominator mindset in society, and when we switch that to a partnership paradise mindset, that knowledge and wisdom and energy shared between people, there's no defense mechanisms put up. There's no conditioned walls put up. At that point, you're willing to accept and listen and absorb that knowledge, that wisdom, that energy. So I vibe with that, brother. Criminal, what's up, man?
How you doing, guys? I keep missing spaces. I've been meaning to jump onto one of these things for absolutely ages. I keep setting reminders on my phone, on Twitter, and they just don't show up. So, yeah, awesome to jump on and hear everyone's voices and hear what all you guys have been up to. Loved seeing the Stonks getting some more. Getting some traction with a few big accounts, putting them in the backgrounds of their PFPs. I mean, I think it's what we've been doing for months and months anyway, but it's nice to see a couple of big accounts picking that up and doing something similar. Matt, I just wanted to say, like, your picture looks amazing, mate. It looks absolutely stunning. So I'm doing quite a cool thing on a mountain tonight with my cousin and two of my nephews. So in the UK, I don't know whether you'll have heard of it, but there's a country in the UK called Wales, and in Wales there's like a beautiful area called Snowdonia, which has got a mountain called Snowdon. So it's one of the biggest mountains in the UK. And tonight we've got apparently there's a meteor shower. So I've climbed Snowdon a number of times, like with my cousins and my nephews and a few friends and stuff. And it's an awesome climb. It's a really nice walk. The views up there are beautiful. But tonight we're doing it at nighttime. So it's about a 2-hour drive from my house. We're going to set off maybe at like 10:30 this evening. Aim to get set up and everything, and then start climbing this mountain in like the dead of night. We're setting off to climb it about 1:30 a.m. So we're in like it's a designated dark skies area, zero light pollution whatsoever. So we're going to climb this mountain with our head torches on, and hopefully see this amazing meteor shower from the top of, like, from one of the highest points in the UK. So yeah, looking forward to that. It should be amazing. your photo there, Matt, of just being with nature and in beautiful surroundings. Just it's got me excited.
Man, I love that, dude. Like, I absolutely love that. You're gonna have such an amazing time tonight, and I'm glad you guys are embracing, going at nighttime too. Like, we all sit around during the day, but at night the stars are just light up your soul, man. Happy for you, brother, and send some pictures. I'd love to see if you catch anything. I'm actually gonna try to find this picture of the Milky Way that I took at night in the Andes Mountains, and I'll
Awesome.
post it. I'll post it here in a second. But man, I love to hear that, brother.
I don't have a proper camera to take to get like nighttime pictures, so it'll be iPhone pictures. I'm not sure how well like the night sky will come out on iPhone pictures, but at the very least we'll get a nice sunrise and everything. So if I can get some nice sunrise pictures and stuff, I will do. There's a lake around about halfway up the mountain as well. It's like a big freshwater lake, so on the way down, we're going to stop and have a swim and everything in there just to liven everybody up because we'll have been up all night. So yeah, it should be awesome. I can't wait. But yeah, thanks for letting us come up and say hi. Great to hear from you all. And yeah, I'll carry on tuning in.
If you get a chance and you see like a shooting star or something, make a wish, man. Say it out loud. Like, our words have so much vibration and frequency. Like, transcend that stuff into the stars. Put it back out there, man.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, brother.
Cool.
Oh man, that's one thing that I miss living in a smaller town is being able to look up and see the stars. Dude, like that was always one of my favorite things growing up in a small town to do was just go outside and look at everything and like have that crystal clear view of the Milky Way and look for a shooting star and that type of stuff and spot out constellations and like it was just one of those things that was extremely peaceful to do was just go out like late in the night, lay on the driveway or something, go out in the field and like just look at the dang stars, man. Like I miss it. And it's one of my favorite parts about hiking too. So I'm jealous about your experience in Peru because I'm sure you got a decent amount of that.
Dude, like, that was another part of Peru. Like, the ceremonial part and the retreat was, I mean, life altering. But being able to, I spent a lot of time by myself. I mean, I went backpacking, ended up renting a motorcycle and cruised the Andes Mountains. Did that. But yeah, being out there and seeing the star, I had never seen stars like that in my life. That clear. I mean, we're sitting at what, almost 12,000 feet elevation in the Andes Mountains at this retreat, and to be able to walk outside, just to see heaven right above you in clear view, different colors, different I mean, you're looking at the Milky Way, but there's just so much more. It proves that there's just so much more to this life and the insignificant bullshit that we carry with us all day long. When you look at that Milky Way, all that just goes away. And it's just pure wonder.
I feel that, man. Rooster, how is it out in Florida? Do you live like I feel like Florida's a spot where unfortunately because of its popularity that it's pretty like the light, what do you call it? The
Man,
light
I don't live in Florida.
bro, wait, what the heck? I keep thinking that you live in Florida with that like rather than
No, I live in Colorado.
wait, what the heck, bro? This entire time I've thought that you've lived in Florida. I'm not even joking.
I feel like we've talked about this quite a few times, but
Man,
no,
I feel
yeah.
like I've got a terrible memory, and you're gonna give me shit. Like now, I mean, my girlfriend gives me shit a lot of the time for, I guess, not listening well enough, and now I feel terrible.
Nah, I mean, you could say I live in Florida. You can say I live in Texas, Hawaii. Doesn't really matter. Roosters everywhere.
Rooster's in your dreams, motherfucker.
Rooster is worldwide. It's that simple.
But yeah, no, love it up here. I mean, weather's like in the mornings, I open up the windows. It's like 68. At sunrise. Yeah, I mean, can't complain, man. Life's great. 300 days of sunshine a year. It's I'm loving it. I'm getting antsy for this boarding season, snowboarding season. I'm kind of wanting snow to start coming already so I can start hitting mountain. Because that's just a whole different world. It's phenomenal. One of my favorite things to do.
Hey, one thing I've been thinking a lot about coming back home is I want to start like booking flights every month to a different part in the United States or a close country or whatever, and I want to start trying to have like in real life meetups. I don't care if it's one other person or if it's 15 other people. Like I want to make it a point. Like I want to get out to see you, Rooster. I want to get out and to see T. B-Ways is close to me, so we can always drive together. But there's so many advantages to sharing that energy and having that cooperative mindset where we just hang out and vibe in real life because there's so much better sometimes than just doing a Twitter space.
Yeah, Clay, are you setting up Wonky Art Basel this year?
Bro, I was actually just talking to D-Spy recently. We were texting and talking about how I need to figure out plans for Art Basel and get up there. So, dude, if we do Art Basel, we can definitely look into doing something because Art Basel was just a good vibe all around.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Art Basel this year.
I think I've taken just long enough off Miami by Art Basel. Like that'll be about 8 months away from Miami. So I think I might be able to deal with it again. I told myself though after I left in April, I was like, dude, I can't go back for another year or so. I'm just burnt. I can't do it. But I think I'm feeling a little bit refreshed, taking a little step away. So the idea is warming back up to me.
Hey, I just want to mention, so there's the biggest Solana event called the Breakpoint in Lisbon in November. And if you're, I don't know, if you're, all this Bitcoins and crypto and stuff, and that's an interesting thing, I recommend you visit after because I might go too. That's all.
Bro, I was gonna do it, but I've got I actually had everything where I've got a good friend's wedding that weekend, and I just one of those things where I'm in it. I just don't think I can miss that.
Well, it's like a whole week. It's a whole weekend plus the next week long thing, because most of the things, I mean, most of the best stuff is like the surrounding events and all that. Like you go to any of these crypto events, I mean, a lot of people don't
Yeah.
actually go to, yeah, they go
The
to,
events outside of the
yeah,
convention are
yeah.
always where, yeah, of course, that's where you're going to meet all your people. That's where you're going to make all the vibe and connections, and that's where it's at, man.
Yo, what did you do in Peru? Did you like take so you just took some time off?
Yeah, I took a little time off. We talked about it in the beginning of the space. I don't want to go
Okay,
through it all again, but
yeah, no,
yeah,
I'll
listen to the
listen in.
recording. But yeah, I went and did some soul searching, man.
Beautiful. All right. See you in Portugal, Kaleo, and all whoever else is going.
I might, man. You never know. A lot of these events, I don't decide until like the week before, even though
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
terrible planning. But
I'll
it's
just
kind of the
you
way
just
that I live a lot of the time. I kind of just go. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I don't have
20
what I
minutes
thought
to
I had
board a
going on the
plane,
next
and he's
week.
still packing his freaking suitcase.
Literally, that is my life summed up. I mean, I wish it were a joke, but that is me in a nutshell, man. And people give me crap for it, but at the end of the day, I don't think I'd want to live any other way.
just
I,
post one of those tweets where you're like, I'm in the corn shirt eating corn at like over here, and then I'll come find you.
Okay.
I didn't want to call you out in front of everybody, but I'm going to. Before I left, you were going hard and working out, man, and we had a little conversation about it, consistency. What happened? I saw a broken chair, man.
Bro. No way. I got so much crap from that. It was embarrassing. It was at some church event thing that I went to, and I sat down in the chair, and then next thing you know, I'm on my ass. And it was embarrassing. And, like I don't think I've ever broken a chair like that before. it's that was bad.
Are you
But
still
I mean,
going
dude,
to?
to be
Are you
fair to
still
me,
working out or what?
dude, to be fair to me, there was a guy that weighed twice as much as I did in the chair next to me. He was fine. Like,
So it was default the chair's problem, not yours, right?
I mean, it had to have been. There's no other way. Somebody set me up with a faulty chair. I think it's one of those type things where you like put a whoopee cushion or something like that under the cushion. Like, it was that type of a setup. It had to have been. There's no other logical explanation
Out
for
of
me
all the
going down
people,
there and
they
breaking
singled
that.
you out. Out of all the people, I
Yeah.
love it. Conspiracy against Kaleo.
Well, and it was one of those things that was slow fall as well when it happened, because it just slowly started. I was like, wait, why is it leaning to the right? And the next thing you know, you're down. And yeah, no, like that happened. And I was like, okay, I need to accelerate the pace of everything that I am doing. Because right now, like, dude, I had so much travel throughout the course of July. The past 2.5 weeks, I'm looking at it now. I was on a solid month straight of working out. 2.5 weeks, I haven't done it. And I need to get back into it. So, like, this is pushing me again to do it. It's just one of those things where, dude, whenever you're establishing a habit and you've got so much change during the course of the habit as far as your daily routine from traveling and doing this and that, like, dude, that's what always knocks me out of it. And terrible excuse, but it's the reality.
Definitely the reality. I kind of built my own routines when I was in Peru, and I was doing a lot of stretching. I did a lot of yoga practices and stuff like that. And coming back home, I slept for like 3 days, and I felt it in my body. Like, even climbing the mountains that I did, and hiking all the way up to the top of Machu Picchu, like, I had prepared myself for it. I was moving around a lot. I was walking, and once you just stop, man, like, it's hard to get back in that rhythm. But just try to keep going, man. Just try to find a spot. One thing that I actually learned there, and I actually did a couple times, was cold plunging. And I don't know if you ever looked into it, but look into Wim Hof. And yeah, man, I cold plunge in like freezing cold rivers in Peru, and oh my goodness, man, like, it really helps your muscles. It really helps your fatigue. It really helps everything, and it gives you this sense of energy, like you can do anything, man.
I might have to do it, man. I might have to do it. Honestly, you're inspiring me right now. I'm going to as soon as I get off this, I'm going to sign up for an Orange Theory class for this afternoon. I'm going to do it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Or actually, now that I'm thinking
Hey,
about it, should I just play basketball? I'll probably get a better workout playing basketball anyway.
Probably.
Yeah,
Gosh,
before you go
what's
to
up,
that
man?
Orange Theory class, what about that super high motivational speech you were about to give the other day, where you didn't show up on my space, buddy?
Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Oh, wow, you're that high.
Wait, what happened?
You're that high.
So you were super high and you tweeted that, oh, I could give such a great motivational speech right now. I started a space for you. I was like, oh, let's hear what he has to say. And you never showed up, man.
Okay, so it's not something where, like, to be fair, it was thrown out into the void. And you can't expect, if those were the conditions of the moment,
Oh, I'm not
then you
expecting. I'm
can't
like, oh, okay,
expect a
let's
full
see.
perfection of checking every notification at that point in time, right? Like, sometimes you're
Oh,
just tweeting out into the void.
oh no. So the funny thing is, you like took a screenshot of the space and were like, oh, someone started a space for me. So I was like, damn, he's actually coming on.
Well, must have been a collect account.
No,
Must
it was
have been,
Kaleo.
man.
It wasn't an alt account.
Must have been an alt, the other person that controls the Kaleo account. Wasn't me. I don't remember.
Well, here you
Oh,
go,
okay.
man.
Oh, I
You're
just
on
thought
our
multiple
space.
people that
It must be.
control the account.
Yeah, Rooster actually had privileges to control the account at that point in time. So everything that you just read and everything that you said was actually Rooster, not myself.
Ah, okay. So was it you that was Rooster?
Oh, it was Rooster. It had to have been.
Oh, okay.
What did I do now?
You wouldn't remember because you were so high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah. No, that is funny. Like one of these days, man, I'll say this. The unfortunate thing about Twitter is you can't always just hop onto a space. Like I don't remember what's happening. But, sometimes you're in certain situations where, like, as much as you'd like to hop on the space, you're with people, you're doing things. But I respect the effort and I respect the hustle.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe he'll just come on. But that's fine. It was Rooster. Maybe Rooster can help us with a motivational speech right now.
Man, I am taking the garbage on my way to go.
You had a lot of stuff to say when you were high. Come on, just open up.
Honestly, I do not ever remember speaking to you in my entire life. But I'm taking out the garbage right now. Going to Chipotle. Beautiful day outside, ready to get pumped. Drink your coffee, get working. Just go out and do it.
Love to
My
hear it, man. Love
motivational
to hear it.
speech.
I need to go through and set up my giveaway that I talked about at the beginning of the space. We are giving that stonk away here in a bit. Ooh, dude, I just saw the picture of the Milky Way in the Andes. Man, that is something else, man. And, like going back to that from earlier, dude, while you were gone, all those pictures from whatever telescope came out, and they blew my mind and started to make me think about how small we are.
Yeah, man.
And when I see that, and, it looks so massive, and each one of those dots is a star and something else. And then I think about how all of that is just, nothingness in the void of how large the universe is itself. And it really messes with your mind.
No, it really does. Like, and to be there, like silent, no city lights, not a person around. I took that picture in a mountain, like probably 2 hours away from any civilization, too. And I was out there by myself at night. Ended up staying out there, and just to embody that existence that we are, while being guided by the light of the stars in that night shining upon you. Like, you really get to that level of how everything just, there's so much more. There's so much more than what we even understand or can comprehend. I mean, there's, in our galaxy alone, I think there's like, what, 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone. And I think like the observable universe, there's like, I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. There's probably, 100,000 different galaxies for each one of those galaxies, that have 400 billion stars within that. Like it's incomprehensible. Like you can't put it into words, like how powerful that statement is, how small we truly are, and how insignificant the negative bullshit that we hold within us every single day, that excess waste, that baggage that does not serve us. You need a check in your life. Go look at the freaking stars. Then you'll realize that there's so much more.
Amen to that. B-Ways, welcome up on stage. How's it going, man? I'm glad you're alive.
What's up, guys?
My brother.
Dude, it's good to have you back, man. It's great to have you back. Sounds pretty mind blowing stuff. Makes me want to do it as well.
Good. We'll go together, man. Another perfect spot.
Yeah, I'm up to much more mundane stuff in New York this weekend. Just partying a little bit. Yesterday was an NFT event, actually. It was a Magic Eden event with Izu. It was a lot of fun to attend. But I'm definitely feeling the consequences today, as you might hear.
Hey, I just got to say, to you specifically, B-Ways, and the rest of our Room 110 crew that has been spawned from the Wonky Stonks community. Brother, you warm my heart coming back, man, to see you guys and you taking the leadership of that organization and holding spaces with Kaleo, different project founders, just holding it down and staying consistent, man. Like, I love you for that, bro. And I love you for many other reasons. You know that, man. You're my brother. But I just want to publicly state that I'm just very happy with you guys, and thank you.
Well, it's gonna be even better with you back, man. It's great to have your energy and new perspective. It's a lot of fun to see already. You should do a space, man, next week. Set up a space, and we'll be there. Hear more about your story.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do that. I definitely wanted to come on today, just kind of warm up. It's really my first day coming back and talking to people. I know I've talked to a couple people alone, little private chats here and there, but it takes time coming back into this. I'm not going to lie. And I mentioned that earlier. Like, we're always at 100 miles an hour, pedal to the metal in this space. And I know we all feel that sometimes, and we feel dragged down sometimes, but going from just like silence and peace and tranquility to coming back 100 miles an hour, like, I can't do that. Like, I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to protect that energy so I can give that energy back 100% to people when it's the right time. So I definitely next week will be the right time, though, man.
Awesome. I'm going to be in an elevator, so I'll step down for a second.
10-4. Well, I also have a winner, and I love that it happened like this because I feel like a lot of the time the winner doesn't end up being a stonk holder, but the winner this week is Megatan 5000.
What? Carl's Jr., baby. Hell yeah.
So Megatan,
He absolutely
congratulations.
deserves it.
The stonk picker picked you today. So congrats. I'm happy for you. You deserve it. And I will send that stunk to you. I'm going to DM you right now so I don't forget because like I can be forgetful, and I'm going to do that. Like, if I don't do it right now, it might be a week before you end up getting it. So DM me your ETH address, and I will shoot you the stonk.
I love that. He deserves it so much, too. He's always kicking ass on the memes. He's always staying consistent, showing up every single day with the community.
Dude, truly,
Yeah.
like one of the Discord legends, and up there on the memes, with Willie Stonka Wonka himself. Elijah, what's going on?
Hello, Wonky fam. Yeah, I just wanted to come and say what's up to 80s. I'm glad he had an awesome trip, and I've been reading his book, and I'm very much enjoying it. And yeah, that's. I just wanted to come up and say what's up. And I'm like 92% sure. Like, blink twice if you're foo. If not, just don't worry about it. But yeah, that's all.
I love that shit.
Nah, dude, I do too, man. I mean, it's been a really enjoyable space, though. It's been great having you back, Maddie, and like missed you, and glad to have you around again. Excited to see you and the crew continue to build out Room 110 as well. I'm telling you, those guys have been putting in some work while you've been gone.
I know. I drilled it in them for 6 months that they had it in them. They had the potential in them, and to see them just go with it while I was gone, oh my God! Like, that's a feeling of fulfillment if I've ever felt one.
Bro, like even the spaces that they had recently with the pandas, having milk bags up or ice bag up there too. I mean, how was it? Like Rooster, I'm surprised that you're not in Vegas this weekend for the pandemonium.
Maybe he's still taking in his trash.
He must still be taking out his
I'm in the middle of my Chipotle order. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, no problem.
No, but I appreciate that, Cleo. It feels great to be back, brother. Just out of curiosity, do you have a tally of wallet holders since I've been gone? Like, it seems like we have a lot of new holders.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of new holders. There's been some solid distribution with the stonks recently, and like that's one of the things I think that we're going to continue to see that trend progress over the next several months. And again, dude, that's just such an anomaly right now in this market for the NFTs, where it feels like as the stonks have actually picked up momentum and some volume across the board, that like dude, it's tough to find. There are a lot of other names that were considered to be blue chip projects that, the stonks, by going sideways and slightly up, have caught up to by the others just, falling apart completely at the seams. And like, I'm not going to name any projects, right? I'm not here to single out any projects. And it's not always the project's faults, right? Like, there's a lot of that that's just due to market conditions right now. But, it's been really cool because, like, the stocks have seen some solid growth, not just the number of, the value of whatever the average sales price, but just in the total number of holders as well. So, the community itself.
Wait, was I muted that entire time?
No,
No,
you
you
just
just
cut
left
out
for
at the last
10
second.
seconds.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
my headphones died, so I just took them out. Matt, what's going on? Not Matt E, but Matt Crow.
Hey, I just want to say hi to everybody. And hi
What's
to
up?
Matt, too.
What's up, Matt?
Our mamas had the same idea, huh?
That's right, man. Matthew is a gift from God, brother.
I already know it. Thank you for sharing your story. I was smiling ear to ear. I think I can hear a difference in your voice. You sound really happy, and I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, brother, and I appreciate you, man. And I am happy. I'm for the first time in pretty much my whole life, I am 100%, 1,010% happy.
Yeah, you can really hear it.
It feels really good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm on top of a mountain still.
That's beautiful.
Hey, Kaleo, I was asking that question about the new holders because I was seeing, we did the community created a badge, a free mint a couple months ago, and it was a free gift to holders that are Wonky Stonk holders. How would you feel about maybe doing something like that again soon?
We could definitely talk about it, man. We could definitely talk about it and look into it. Maybe put it up to a community vote. And yeah, but I mean, so one of the things, 80s, that I've talked about as far as like, outside of the community badge, right? Like, for future collections being added to LedgArt, like my vision for it is, I think it's important to be able to add collections and value, like whenever, you don't want to oversaturate your market, right? So my whole vision with everything is, as the value and like the demand continues to grow, whenever there's the demand for the additional collections to be able to add it on, like you do it at that point. And so like my whole approach with all of that is just patience. But, as far as going back to the community badge and revisiting that, like, I'm definitely open to discussing that and maybe, putting it up to a community vote, like whatever y'all want to do.
I love that, man. I love that. So you like kind of answered my question without answering it, and you answered another question because I was going to ask if there's any new developments that you've been thinking about. So appreciate that. A little bit of alpha.
A little bit of alpha hiding in the works, but dude, that's my approach with it, and that's the overall pay. I feel like a lot of projects, what they do is to try to like drive value in the initial project, they drop another project, and by doing so dilute value in both. They do it at a point where it's not ready for that to happen. So my whole thing is, I believe that just patience is the approach, man. It's like, I believe there is value in the stonks, and there will be continued value in the stonks. And the best way to, continue to drive that is a concentrated focus on the stonks. And when the time's right for something else, like you approach it, like just slow, steady, patient wins the game.
Yep, patience is a virtue, man. I try to preach that to everybody. Man, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, patience and resilience.
Resilience is key.
But I'm out of Chipotle now, so I heard pandemonium while I was trying to do my order. What was the question?
I was just wondering if you were heading to Vegas for some degeneracy this weekend for pandemonium.
Man, I wish. Definitely. My pockets are not that deep; they're peon-sized at the moment. So no, I'm not heading to Vegas, but I will be trying my hardest to make it out to Art Basel for sure.
Love it, man. Well, yeah, I mean, I feel you, dude. My thing with Pandemonium this weekend, I was so tempted because I like all those guys that are going. I've just been traveling so much, again, going back to it that I just didn't know if I could handle that weekend of degeneracy. I know how to go in, like, it's tough for me to keep pace. So I was just like, dude, it's going to just be healthier for me to be able to stay back and miss out on this one. But it looks like it's going to be an awesome time.
Oh no, I had bags on actually 2 days. Today's Friday. Yeah, 2 days ago, for one of our Room 110 spaces, and he was giving us all the details about Pandemonium. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think it's like a 7-hour whole event. The stage is like 100 yards long, and then they rented out Dre's after hour whole club. Until like 7 a.m. So yeah, and they're going to be live streaming it on Twitch too. So if anyone's interested in checking out the Pandemonium party, because they're going to be hosting many events like this, yeah, definitely check out the live stream.
That's why eventually, man, I mean, when the time is right again for that, I plan on minting more pandas because, Bags isn't going to let that project die, right? Like, he is going to continue to put everything he has into that. And there's going to be a point where, people see the way that he's approached it. And, it's going to find a way to be able to catch up. It's just another one of those things where you look at people that are building in the bear market and that are driving consistency. And those are the type of people that I want to associate with the longer term vision going into the bull market, because I think those are going to be the ones that are successful. So, I am a fan of the pandas as well.
Yeah, I mean, even just hearing Bags' energy and his voice whenever he came up on Spaces. I mean, the dude is so motivated. He has put together a pretty good team. Yeah, I'm definitely I like the Pandas and what they're doing. And we did get an official announcement that the last chain will be Solana.
How could it not be Solana? Like, that was the thing that shocked me. I was like, dude, how is Solana not out there sooner? Because Solana is one that would be minted out immediately, right? So, but I do like that approach, because now I think that if you do drop that the last chain is Solana and it does mint out quicker, then I think it does drive some demand back to some of those other chains that haven't been completed as far as the mint goes yet. I mean, everything with that L0 concept is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, the reason why I thought it was going to be Solana, I was like 80-90% sure. The only reason I was questioning it was because all the other chains are ERC20 based, right? They're all compatible with ETH. So I didn't know, if it was going to be on ETH but mintable with Sol, kind of like what Izu's doing with the new partnership. But no, he said that it's going to be 100% on Sol. But he said you would be able to. I think he said you'd be able to transfer them through cross chain. I'm not too sure. I can't recall 100% accuracy.
That's interesting, man. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad to hear though you're gonna still have a chill weekend, so it's good to hear. But dude, overall, like, it's just been great catching up with you guys. Congrats again to Megatan. Unfortunately, I do have to get to wrapping up the space for today, but really, really, really have enjoyed it. It's just been great hearing, from Maddie again after all this time, and from each and every other person that came up on stage. Appreciate y'all on stage. Appreciate everyone in the audience as well.
Much love, everyone, and thank you again, Kaleo, and thanks for all the welcome back, warm love that everybody showed me, man. I really, really, really feel it.
Yeah, of course,
much
man.
love,
Matt, what's
everyone.
up, man? Or was that just you trying to wave goodbye?
No, I bought something for the Wonky community. It's heart emoji Wonky Stonks.
Let's go. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Dot
So
.eth.
I heart wonkystonks.eth.
Yeah, so I don't know what y'all want to do with it, but it's yours.
That's awesome. I mean, hey, you can stay I heart wonkystonks.eth too, man. Hold on to the legacy.
Well, it's open for the community if y'all figure out something you want to do with it. Just thought I'd offer.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you as well. All right, guys. Well, we all heart wonky stonks. Take it easy.
Later, guys.
Later.